I used to live like I was in a race without a finish line. Every day started with a checklist of musts. I must wake up early. I must succeed. I must look good. I must be the best. Must to be recognized. To be seen as worthy. I chased a better version of myself. But the more I ran, the more exhausted I felt. The harder I tried to prove my worth, the emptier I became. It was as if something was always missing, a haunting sense of not enough that followed me through my youth. Then one day I stopped. I went for a walk in the soft golden light of the afternoon sun, listening to the wind brush past my ears. No phone, no deadlines, just me, and a question that suddenly echoed in my mind. If from today, no one ever recognized you again, would you still feel worthy? That question hit me like a bell. It woke me up truly. I remembered all the times I forced myself to be perfect just to feel loved. Every time I looked in the mirror, all I saw were flaws. Every time I achieved something, I'd whisper to myself, "Still not enough. You need to try harder." I had never truly loved myself. And from that moment, I began to build a new habit. No books, no apps. Just one simple sentence I repeated each morning. I am enough. I don't need to prove anything. First it felt awkward, but I kept saying it. Every time I looked in the mirror, while brushing my teeth, washing my face, doing the dishes, getting dressed. Day after day, the words started to sink in. They began changing how I saw myself. I no longer stressed about the wrinkles on my forehead or my no longer flat stomach. I began to love my body like an old friend, with gratitude, respect, and gentle attention. I no longer ate to lose weight, but to nourish myself. I no longer worked out to burn fat, but to feel alive. I started choosing clothes for comfort, not to look like a successful person. And strangely, it was only when I stopped trying to become that I finally began to be. I'm enough, just like that. Not when I make more money, not when I have a partner, not when I hit my KPIs. I am enough right now in this body with this life. And that was the beginning of a rich, peaceful life, the lazy Richmond way. There was a time when I lived like my emotional remote control was in someone else's hands. A careless comment from someone could mess up my whole day. One criticism, and my mood would drop. One compliment, and I'd be hyped like stepping onto a grand stage. My mind was like an open radio. Anyone could broadcast whatever they wanted. The more it happened, the smaller and more fragile I felt, as if I were living on borrowed emotions. Until one day, I read a single line. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who chooses them. I read it 3 times. Slowly it sank in. And then I started playing a game. I called it managing thought streams. Every time a thought popped up, I paused for 2 seconds and asked, where did this thought come from? Is it helpful to me? Can I choose another thought instead? For example, I wake up to a gloomy sky. My mind instantly jumps to, feeling this sluggish, I won't get anything done today. I catch that thought like spotting a child mumbling nonsense. I smile and replace it with something new. Today's perfect for taking things slow and steady. I have the power to choose my energy for the day. Then I make coffee, put on some jazz, and begin the day. The lazy Richmond way. Slow but sure, less but better. Thoughts are tools, not masters. And I learn to wield them like an artist with a brush. I no longer chase negative thoughts away. I just don't let them stay too long. I no longer let one harsh comment send me spiraling. I listen, pick out what's useful, and let the rest drift away with the wind. I realized my mind is not a dumping ground for anyone to toss their trash into. I no longer auto-react. I respond mindfully. And as I cleared space in my head, something magical happened. I began thinking slower but deeper, doing less but achieving more. I no longer let society dictate what I should think. I am the only one with the authority to place commands into this mind. I started living by my own mantra. I am the creator of my world. Because everything you see outside starts with what you think inside. The world didn't change. I did. And when I changed my thinking, my life began to shift too. Gently, calmly, in true lazy Richmond style. Back then I used to think peace was something I could have. Once I had more money, a stable job, fewer emails, zero chaos, and everyone agreed with me. I thought peace was an external reward I would get after crossing some invisible finish line. So I kept waiting. Waiting for life to slow down, waiting for people to behave, waiting for the noise to stop. But you know what? The world never quieted down, and inside, I was the one getting louder. One afternoon, overwhelmed and burned out, I closed my laptop mid-task, slipped into sandals, and walked straight to the nearby park. No phone, no headphones, no mission, just me walking. And the world. The trees were still green, the breeze still soft, the sun still kind. But for once, I didn't take photos or turn it into a productivity insight for my Notion. I simply existed, fully. And that was the first time I understood. Peace doesn't come when things are done. It comes when I stop trying to control everything. From then on, I started practicing a new skill. Letting go. Letting go of the pressure to be on schedule. Letting go of the need to fix others' emotions. Letting go of the obsession with perfect outcomes. Ironically, the more I let go, the more I received. I received lightness. I received space. I received my own presence. Unfiltered. Now, when my mind spins like a hamster wheel, I take a breath and whisper my personal lazy Richmond mantra. All is well. Right here, right now. That one line brings me back to this moment. This breath is me. This simplicity. I no longer chase peace. I let it find me when I pause. I don't need everything to be in place to feel whole. I just need to remember. Let go at the right time, and your heart becomes sky-wide. I used to treat love like a transaction. Give a little, get a little. Text first, wait for them to reply. Do good, expect appreciation. Keep score. just in case I'm doing too much. Honestly, most of my relationships looked more like emotional spreadsheets than connections. Then one day, after a rough breakup, I sat alone and asked myself, if no one ever returns the love I give, would love still exist inside me? Hit me like a soft breeze. There were moments when I loved, just because I wanted to. Not because someone earned it. Not because I expected something in return. I made tea for my mom, without needing a thank you. I helped a stranger fix their bike in the rain, without needing praise. I messaged an old friend just to say, hey, I still remember you. No expectations, no drama, no agenda. Just giving, just love, pure and simple. And in those moments I realized, I don't need someone to complete me. I'm already full. I am love, not a seeker of it. Since then, I live like a lazy rich man in the world of emotions. I love without asking for anything. I help without keeping track. I show up, not for validation, but because I want to. I've started to enjoy relationships that feel weightless, where silence is okay, where love flows without being pushed. I've learned to open my heart and still stay unattached. I love myself deeply before I love anyone else. Because when I give love, I'm not losing anything. I'm expanding. I'm becoming. I forgive. Not because they deserve it, but because I deserve peace. Forgiveness is the gift I pour into my own cup. A warm drink for my soul. Love doesn't need fireworks. It doesn't need proof. Just needs presence. I am love. Not because someone loves me back. I am love. Because I stopped closing the door to my own heart. For years, I had a complicated relationship with my body. I treated it like a project that needed fixing. Too much belly. Starved. Bad skin. Buy expensive serum. Tired. Push harder, sleep later. It was like I believed my body was getting in the way of my success. One morning, after a brutal all-nighter, I looked in the mirror. I barely recognized myself. Sunken eyes, dry lips, that pale, drained face staring back like a stranger. And then this thought popped up. What am I really sacrificing this body for? Success. At what cost? Beauty. For whose approval? That morning, I made a quiet vow to myself. Start listening to your body. It's been speaking all along. So I simplified. No more dieting punishments. No more guilt-driven workouts. No more treating fatigue like a weakness. I started asking gently, hey body, what do you need today to feel good? Ate when hungry, rested when tired, moved not to get abs, but to feel alive. I stopped standing on the scale. I stood up for myself instead. Now, when I look in the mirror, I don't criticize. I smile and whisper, thank you for carrying me through all those messy seasons. Maybe the belly is still soft. Maybe the skin isn't flawless. But the heart feels so much lighter. Because I know this body isn't decoration. It's my oldest, most loyal companion. These days, self-care isn't a task. It's a love language I speak fluently. I eat greens, not because Instagram says so, but because I feel good. I sip warm water, not because a guru told me, but because it suits me. I shut down the laptop, not to biohack sleep, but to let my mind breathe. I am vitality, not because I'm super fit, but because I respect every breath I take. I don't chase bursts of energy. I flow in steady ease. Vitality isn't about peak performance. It's about being present inside this body every single day. There was a time when I sighed a lot in the middle of the day. Not from exhaustion, but from disconnection. It felt like I was busy all the time, but didn't know what I was busy for. My calendar was full. My head was noisy with ideas, plans, goals, and deadlines. But my heart, I was existing, not living, doing, not being. One afternoon I was at my usual coffee spot. Black coffee, no sugar, familiar silence. I watched the traffic pass by outside, and suddenly I asked myself, if today was my last day, would I be proud of how I'm living? Please. Coffee went cold, and something inside me stirred. That one question shook me out of autopilot. Since then, I stopped chasing big goals just to feel seen. I started looking inward and asking, what would feel meaningful to me today? I learned to live with intention, not intensity, with purpose, not pressure, with depth, not drama. I began choosing things that made me feel good, writing a few lines in my journal, calling an old friend, brewing tea and sipping it slowly. Simple things, but done on purpose, became powerful. I no longer need to know exactly who I'll be in 5 years. I just need to know, what am I showing up for today? And when I live for something I choose, each day becomes part of a meaningful mosaic. Not loud, not flashy, just real. I am purpose, not as a faraway destination, but as the meaning I give to each quiet step I take. I don't live to prove something. I live because I've chosen this way. Choose me every single day. I used to be addicted to control. I needed plans. I needed next steps. I needed answers now. Uncertainty made me anxious. Delays made me doubt myself. So I built this mental control panel, always trying to adjust, fix, manage everything. But life isn't a machine, it's a flow. And the more you resist it, the harder it pulls. I remember clearly, a big project I'd worked on for 6 months got cancelled. The night before launch, everything crumbled. Panic, blamed myself. I tried to force the situation back on track. But then, 3 weeks later, a new opportunity came. Bigger, better, aligned, and I laughed. So the universe wasn't against me. It was just reorganizing. Since then, I stopped gripping so tightly. I started practicing trust. Trust that, even when I can't see the full map, I'm still on the right path. Trust that, if a door closes, it's because another one is opening. One that fits better. One that feels right. Now, I live like a true lazy rich man. No rush, no scrambling. No constant tweaking. I live at my own pace, and at the pace of the universe. There are still days I don't know what's going on, but instead of panicking, I close my eyes, take a deep breath, and whisper, I don't need to know what will happen. I just need to know I'll be okay. I am trust, not blind faith, but grounded trust in myself, in the process, in life's quiet intelligence. And I believe this. Everything that comes my way, good, bad, confusing, carries a gift. Even if I can't see it yet, the gift is there, waiting for me to soften, open, and receive. And trust, because I'm not walking alone. I'm guided. I'm supported. I choose to walk gently and let the universe walk with me.